spawning in the top right-hand corner. You know him, you love him, you believe is the reincarnation of a very small man. He is TLO, the little one. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner is Liquid Snute. Funny enough, because, I mean, I was casting Snute, and I always saw his name as Snute. Snute in German means to pout. It's kind of like a pouty face. So I was like, Snute or Schnute? And I don't know if he's German and he got the... No, he's not German, so he didn't... I don't think he got the reference. But I just thought it was really weird that it was... Because I had only recently met a person who told me about that. Being in Germany, that's much more likely, but still, you know, So let's see. What did we have here? In the first game, it ended up being a... mostly just... It was just roach versus roach. In the end, Snute pushed forward and ended up dominating over TLO. They had similar upgrades, but TLO was making a lot of bad exchanges. In the second game, it ended up being a base trade scenario, and at the beginning, Snute had far more drones than TLO did. And it looked like Snute was just had to continue droning up, building some units, staying defensive, and he would have been able to pull out of it. But TLO had Burrow, and once the army sizes became that much smaller, it actually became incredibly difficult for Snute to really land killing blows on some of the... He ended up getting a lot of the killing blows he needed, but TLO behind all that was just droning on, and ended up having some really cool... a really cool turnaround. I was not expecting it at the very beginning. If Snute had played it a bit differently, who knows? There was the other thing that TLO actually had 2 bases to work with, so he did have quite a bit more larva stuff to really work with. So, anyways, reminiscing about that. Snute now going in for a bit of an attack here. TLO has a handful of Zerglings. He's got to be careful that he doesn't run into those Banelings. I mean, TLO should... Yeah, he of course can see these Banelings and where they are. He didn't care. He's like, whatever. Just going to keep going on here. Going to this side of the map. Going to go get my Zergling speed. And off he goes. I don't think... Yeah, Snute has Zergling speed as well. So both have speed. Both have Banelings. And, oh gosh, Snute is going to walk right into this. These 2 Banelings, and Snute, of course, has no idea about its location or what it is. And there they go. Here they come up. Snute quickly tries to pull the drones back. And the Zerglings are actually able to get a bit of a surround on the Queens. The Banelings exploding a little bit uselessly, but here's the one Baneling coming in. I don't really think he got too much surface area coverage on that. And the rest of the Banelings of Snute explode into TLO's units, and this has been thwarted. TLO probably could have had some pretty good luck taking down that hatchery. Not going for it is a bit surprising, but it looks like he's going to go ahead and try yet again 2 more Banelings in the main. And Snute has no idea about their location right now. There we go, TLO trying to get a queen kill, but he quickly pulls off as drones are now heading into the main mineral line. No, into the natural mineral line. And explodes into the queens. 1 queen out. 2 queens out. But Snute Zerglings are going to go ahead and push TLO off the bat. And we'll send him packing. Oh, gosh. TLO, again, with his slugfest here in just Zergling run-bys, is going to go ahead for another hit. We've got 32 Zerglings for TLO and 8 for Snute. But those 32 Zerglings, oh gosh, no, they're turning into Banelings now. 3 Banelings for TLO versus 3 Banelings of Snute. It still is going to end up being... Oh, TLO just giving away a couple of free Zerglings by the looks of things. A couple of units going in. TLO's got to micro this correctly. He's dodging bullets here. And he will take at least that 1 Zergling out. And the drones are all in the line. And 2 Banelings explode over all of them. Snute losing a lot of his production capabilities. Another explosion going off. Will he get it? Oh, and he does end up getting a handful more drones. 17! TLO has killed 17 workers at this point. He only has 19 workers himself to the 27 of Snute here. And Snute, he's now fighting off against more drones of Snute. Queen coming out of the woodwork, and Zergling versus Zergling, and the Zerglings win. Snute is below in production right now. TLO still has far more units, and more Zerglings are currently streaming in. I mean, it doesn't seem like Snute is really losing the mining time, but he's losing just so many workers. He has to force so much of his larva into these units. TLO has to as well. But now TLO is switching into a bit of a drone focus. But he does have some more banelings on the way here. If he can do this correctly, it's going to end up being quite dodgy. There's Zerglings coming in, trying to go for that last queen. Oh, is able to just miss that one queen from killing it. That queen is now at 1 HP. 1 HP. 1 HP queen. Oh, gosh. 2 Zerglings going after some more drones. TLO is now up to 33 worker kills. 10 minutes into the map. And he is going for a lair. He has Spine Crawler coming up here. He's been switching to drones for the most part now. And he has absolutely no Zerglings whatsoever. He has 6 on the way, but 15 Zerglings are about to barrel down and destroy him if he is not careful. And when it's too many Zerglings versus no Zerglings, it ends up being very favored to the one with the Zerglings. The drones quickly stopping, staying alive just a little bit longer. The queen's in the background, being very defensive. That improved range helping so much. Of course, in a ZVZ, there's really no benefit to either person. It's, still fairly equal. And Snute only kills 4 workers to TLO's 33. So it could still go either way at this point, guys. I mean, they're really seeing quite a bit of power between these two players. I think it's just absolutely amazing to see these Zerglings just smashing into each other. TLO taking so many worker kills, queens dying, Snute defending, still droning up, still keeping production despite losing so much. It's still actually pretty even. It's just incredible to see these kind of matches. Snute now building 7 drones and getting himself built back up again. TLO going for a Spire. 2 base Spire with only 3 casts and he hasn't been mining gas for that long because he certainly hasn't been spending it on too many banelings here. He does have a lot of defensive banelings right now, along with his queens, Evo Chambers, Roach Warren. I mean, he's just trying to play a little bit of a SimCity right now. Snute, on the other side of this, what has he got going on? He hasn't morphed to Lair yet. He's staying on tier 1 for the moment. There's that extractor being built. And the single baneling. Must have realized that was going to happen. Oh, and the drone does end up dying, and TLO gets what he wanted. But Snute is again pulling ahead in terms of his army value, I believe. Well, everything value. 55 workers, 42, 11 to 8. Spire is just completed, and TLO is able to make a whole 3-4 mutas. Not really all that much. Lair starting to morph in for Snute here. It's almost completed. Really doesn't take that long. He must have started that as soon as I went over to these banelings here. So mutas are finishing up. Not enough to take down queens that easily, but... And does Snute even have an Evo chamber? He does not. So he can't even build spore crawlers if he wanted to. Snute will be in a bit of trouble. Like if TLO had a lot of gas banked, Snute would have to GG. There'd be too many mutas on the field. Instead, the mutas are just going to go ahead and pick off some of these overlords. Establishing map control is very important in this kind of matchup, and TLO is now rocketing ahead in terms of his own supply. Over towards, whoa, the queen almost survived there, but the roaches just weren't enough to fend off these Zerglings. Of course, Snute did pull away from the last moment there. Both players getting a 3rd base up. TLO's 3rd base is pretty well set up by now. The lair is finished for both players. Infestation pit coming up for Snute, so TLO is also getting his own infestation pit, so we should be seeing Roach. And what do they have? +1. And what are you researching? Snute isn't getting any upgrade right now, so TLO will be ahead in terms of his upgrades. He'll at least get up to +2. I would imagine he's going to do that straight away. And oops, sorry. Roaches going after Snute's 3rd base. TLO looks like he wants to be a bit greedier, though, and go for some kind of knockout hit. Certainly has the roaches to do it, but yeah, 22 to 6. He has the roaches to do it. And okay, TLO changes his mind, goes back to the 3rd base, is starting to take that down now. Muta's coming up from the top here. trying to defend these roaches and getting as much damage done as possible. There's so many queens there. The queen's transfusing off, but it's just not enough. They're able to one-shot it. Try and transfuse when they're being hit so fast. It's just not possible. And TLO is now in full retreat now. 27 roaches to 17. TLO still has the advantage, but Snute does have defender's advantage of being able to, well, one, have spine crawlers, two, be able to reinforce his units much more quickly. So, TLO is going to safely retreat for now, despite being so far ahead. So far ahead. Unit count position is 52 drones to 47, 32 roaches to 16, and TLO does still have those mutas currently, so providing with very, very important air support. Here we go, Snute trying to line himself up. TLO getting into position, getting his roaches in the perfect balance, starting to one-shot those queens. And now he's going to go ahead and head over to the rest of those roaches and the one queen there. He's going to go ahead and finish the rest of these off. The muta in the top there doing a lot of damage as well. Snute is going to lose all these forces here now. It's 130 to 90. It's looking pretty good for TLO at this point. Spine crawlers end up falling down. The third base of Snute is going to disappear once again. And with this, TLO stays ahead with 3 bases to the 2 base of Snute here. More roaches coming in. Defender's advantage. Oh, no, this could be bad. Snute is going to just give away some roaches. Yep. Well, sort of. TLO isn't going for the killing blow just yet, and now drones are being pulled off the line. Snute is trying to just stop this as best he can. It is 4 roaches to 8, and TLO still is not comfortable enough to engage in this. 5 roaches, 2 infestors versus 27 roaches and 2 infestors. And oh! Beyond, that is a money fungal. Easy. Second fungal goes off. Those were very key fungals, but still not enough. TLO just has far too much power behind him. Another fungal goes off. Queen in the background trying to help. Another fungal from TLO goes off and is trying to kill these drones. Of course, 1 fungal is not enough, but wow, holy crap. I mean, GG. I mean, at the very last moment, I was thinking, you know, maybe